as they join, we'll just have them introduce. Wade, are you on here and available to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Wade Saunders with Ohio Means Jobs. I'm the BR and account executive for Ohio Means Jobs. I do have a job fair coming up April 14th from 12 to 5 at the Mount Orr Sports Complex, and it's going to be huge.
Okay.
I have over 300 seniors that will be transported via bus to the job fair to help. I have right now 42 employers signed up. I do expect at least 50, and it is the indoor soccer field, and that's regulation size, so I have plenty of room. I'm allowed up to 500 people in there at one time.
That's on a Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. It's been a while since we've had a job fair in this area, right?
Oh. Yes, it has. And I love it myself. I love job fairs. So
yeah. Good. Adrian, are you available to talk?
I can go ahead. So hi, I'm Adrian Moran. I'm currently a second year studying marketing with a minor in agricultural communications at The Ohio State University. I am virtual this semester and the last semester, so I am home staying in Brown County, working at the Brown County Farm Bureau office. In my free time, I've been working here for the past 2.5 years. And I just would love to learn more about business. I love entrepreneurship and hopefully have some great things in the future.
Good. All right. Did anyone else join us? I don't think I see.
No, I don't see anybody
on here yet. Okay. Okay. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself, and then we'll kind of go from there and see if Candace Farce might be joining us, and she is with CR Trash to Treasures. Is that right?
Yes, that's
Lisa?
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. CR
CR Travel. Okay, so she join us on here. My name's Rebecca Varney, and actually I know both of you through past experiences and things. We have a marketing division, and then we have a photography division. There are, I believe, 12 independent contractors that work with me now. So we love working with small businesses. I do have a nonprofit. I'll be sharing that today. And then we're heavy on the photography side. So at this point, in 2021, I guess I should say, because things can change at any time, I'm probably more 90% photography, 10% marketing. Now, a couple years ago, that was flip-flopped. So it just kind of, the way that my business is designed, go with whatever is going on trending at that moment. So that's kind of where I'm at. Real estate photography is full-time. And, that'll be the case until the market falls out, and then I'll have to work more on the marketing side. So today we're going to talk about Instagram and kind of how to get noticed more on Instagram. So Adrian, what are you representing today as far as business?
Yeah, so I kind of do a lot of different things. I'm definitely entrepreneurial minded. I do have a smaller boutique called Wild Honey Boutique on the side with a few other girls, and I am currently managing the Instagram for that. So any tips and tricks, and then I do work for Farm Bureau. We are kind of strictly on Facebook for right now, but they're just good tips to know moving forward if I were to ever create my own business or work for a business that does have Instagram.
Okay, perfect. And Wade, do you have the Instagram set up?
I do personally.
Okay, but not.
Right.
Okay. Is that something you're looking at doing?
I'm going to push the issue because I
Okay.
think younger audience, especially
Yeah.
that be absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. It looks like Sharon Ashley just joined us. Sharon, do you have volume? And can you hear us okay? And do you have a mic?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I'll decide when I'm brave enough to show my face. It's too early in the morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, if you want to just tell us what business you represent, what you hope to get from this class, it gives me an idea of like what to cover this morning.
Okay, is Sue Basta on this morning? Did Sue Basta sign up? Okay. Actually, I'm a retired RN manager from our little Adams County Regional Medical Center. I've been retired, I think 5 years now. And I volunteer way too much. I have a full-time job volunteering on almost every coalition there is. And one of those is ABDAC with Sue Basta, you know, the Adams Brown Diabetes Education Coalition. I'm an airport board member. I'm on the Adamses board for the Tri-County. I'm the Adams County rep for Adams, Scioto, and Lawrence. So senior citizens, vice president, just many things. And I end up, since I was in charge of Joint Commission accreditation at our hospital, as well as the chief nursing officer, I do a lot of the policies that haven't been done or they need help getting revised. So a lot of documents, and I'm old. I'm a young 67, but I didn't grow up with computers, so everything is difficult for me and takes me longer to do. But I really appreciate whatever I learn. It's good for me.
Sounds good. Well, welcome on here today. So we'll just jump into Instagram, and if anyone else joins us, we'll have them introduce themselves. Because I feel like I love these classes because they're, you know, a great network opportunity to get to know others. So definitely, if you have any questions, the way I teach a class is, you know, it's just let's go through it. If you have questions, interrupt me. I'm not going to stick to an agenda. I don't have a PowerPoint for you. It's just kind of, I want to meet the needs of what you're looking for. So we've got, you know, we've got a boutique on here. We've got some nonprofits. We have someone who needs to promote an event. So we've got, you know, a nice variety here. So that works out perfect. So with Instagram was designed for an app on a cell phone, and it has changed over the last couple of years, and you can now access it from a desktop. It's not as user friendly though on a desktop, and honestly I didn't even know you could look at it on a desktop until recently. So Instagram is the new Facebook as far as the, you know, that 16 to 25-year-olds. You know, my son says, I'm not getting on Facebook. That's for old people. You know, that's kind of the mindset that they don't want to do it because their parents are doing it. So Instagram's kind of their thing. And Instagram has evolved to where they do have opportunities to sell on there. I don't know if Adrian's looked at that, but you know, there is some costs associated to that if you want to do an Instagram store. But you know, they're trying to evolve to be more business friendly. So Adrian, have you looked at all into the Instagram store?
We have not currently looked at that. It's definitely something that I would keep in mind, like moving forward as we start to grow. We don't all have a website yet either. So I think that might change in the future, but you know, we're just starting out. We've only been in it a couple months. So we kind of want to build up that savings before we start making those larger.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I would much rather see you guys get Shopify as your website and get that set up before you spend money on the Instagram. Because there are ways to do the Instagram free and send people to your Shopify website. So that's definitely a good business decision for you guys right now. So good. So Instagram is all about the color. It's all about the graphic. And with that said, you got to make sure that your graphics are vibrant and that they catch people's attention, and throw your logo on there. Hi, Brandon. Thanks for joining us. I'll give you a second here to introduce yourself in just a moment after we know you're on here and ready for us. But, you know, all of this, you know, you always got to keep in mind that you need to get your logo out there. So, you know, if I'll use the boutique as an example. If I have a boutique, I have one of the outfits on, I'm showing it, you know, showing off myself or a model or something, I would throw my logo on there so that when people are scrolling through Instagram, they see that logo. And, you know, we want to brand them. We want to brainwash them into every time they see something that's boutique related that they think of my boutique. So, you know, Adrian, that's, you know, kind of the mindset that you guys want to take moving into that, is getting your brand out there, because you do have some tight competition around this area. So just keep that in mind, that it does take like 12 times for someone to see your logo before they recognize your logo. So a great way to do that is putting your logo on your graphics on Facebook and Instagram. So I see Brandon has joined us. Do you have sound yet?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what business you represent and what you hope to learn from this class?
I'm with the Brown County Chamber of Commerce. And
okay.
Yeah. So anything, I guess, to help us better serve our members, we're definitely looking forward to, and I'm supporting you as well. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So with Instagram, there we go. There are some things that you do need to do that is different than Facebook. And you can do this in Facebook, but hashtags are a big thing with Instagram. And how many of you currently use hashtags on your Instagram? Okay, Adrian said yes. Wade, do you use it on your personal?
No, I have not.
Okay. So with Instagram, if you hashtag.
I use the hashtags.
You do, Brandon? Okay.
Yeah, on my personal Instagram.
Okay. Now, do you guys have a chamber Instagram yet?
We don't. We just don't think it's the best way, I guess, to reach our members here in Brown County. Just because it's more rural, we just weren't able to get, I guess, a good following. Yeah.
Okay.
We do use them on Facebook as well, though, the hashtags.
Okay, perfect. So they say, you know, not to get too crazy on the hashtags, but find like 5 or 7 that you can consistently use that help with your branding. So like I use hashtag #RVarney Services, and I use hashtag Get Noticed with #RVarney. That's my tagline, Get Noticed with #RVarney. So I use that on my hashtag. So anything I post, it always has those 2. And then I have some others that I vary. So you want to find hashtags that brand you, but that also pulls the audience. So in my case with photography, I think it's a little easier because there's tons of photography related hashtags. We also have a ministry, it's called Fuel Ministry, and we provide dirt bike and quad church camps. And so that is that Instagram has a much bigger audience. We have like 2,000 followers on that. And so I use a lot of the popular hashtags to pull people over. So, if you think about dirt bikes, if you do, GNCC is a big race series. So if I hashtag GNCC, anytime someone's looking up GNCC and they're scrolling through all the GNCC hashtags, they're going to see us and hopefully follow us. So that's why you want to use those hashtags, so that you are capturing more people. I'll use that boutique again. You do want to see what your competitors are doing. You need to know what's going on. Chamber, you want to look and see what the other chambers are doing, what they're hashtagging, so that you would know what the popular hashtags would be. So you definitely need to know. It definitely helps to kind of know. I follow other real estate photographers so I can see their work, see what's trending, see what they're doing in the industry. And it's just important it's another way to research people and what's going on. So if I own a boutique, I would be researching using hashtags and also, doing a little bit of stalking, and don't stick with just the ones around here. You would, look at nationwide so that you can pull ideas. A lot of times when I meet with a new client who's starting a new business, a lot of times I say, well, whose business have you seen that you like their website set up, you like how things are? And most people say, okay, I've got one, they're out in Indiana or they're out in Idaho or whatever. And it doesn't matter where they are. You can use them as, kind of that example that you can follow. So always keep in mind who your target market is. So Wade's target market with job fairs would be different than my target market for fuel ministry with dirt bike riders. So you always got to keep in mind like who your target market is. If Wade is posting things on Instagram, then his target market, would be that 16 to 25-year-olds. And they're looking at Instagram at a different time than if Sharon is posting about diabetes on Instagram. So you got to look at what those trends are and figure out what the best time to post would be. Now that changes. So this morning I went to look, I Googled it, just Google it, see what's going on, to see what they're saying is the best time right now to post something. And that does change. If there is, I use this example in my Facebook workshop, if there is a popular show on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 is not a good time to post something on Facebook or Instagram because people are too busy watching I can't even think of a show that's popular right now on cable. I think we've all kind of, and I'm going to talk about that, how we've kind of switched. But, it's kind of an old, a good time to post on Instagram is during a storm, because people are on Instagram and Facebook looking for updates and things. So if you think about it that way, you want to pick when people are looking at their phones. So it says that the best time to post on Instagram for educational organizations, the best day is on Friday. The worst day for educational organizations is Sunday. So the way I look at that, and way this would fall under yours, is kids are tuning out on Fridays at school So they're ramping up for the weekend. They're starting to look at Instagram and figuring out what they want to do for the weekend. There's a, you know, maybe it's catch up day at school. Maybe it's movie day at school, you know, whatever the case may be. So they say Fridays is a good day to reach that teen college age group. For healthcare, they say the best day is Tuesdays, and the worst days are Saturday and Sunday. For nonprofits, it says that Wednesday is the best day and the worst day is Sunday. Now, again, these are very general, and the best thing that you can do is go under your insights and post on different days and see what trends better, what the days that you got a better following to kind of navigate that. But that's kind of the across the board, you know, suggested days. Your Wade with the job fair, he's going to have kids looking at Instagram, the college age. They won't even, you know, like that 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. is like a prime time. Because that's when they're laying in bed scrolling and checking out things. That would be probably a good time for Adrian to post things too, and maybe even a little bit earlier, maybe more like that 8 o'clock to kind of hit that you know, that 25 to 44 market also that they have. So you just got to look at who your target market is and when they would be looking. Sharon, with her things, with healthcare related, you know, it's more of the daytime. Her target market's going to be that the older group, and they're going to be more apt to look at it during working hours, during lunch breaks, things like that, versus looking at it at night. So just keep that in mind and pay attention to your insights. If you're on a computer and can look at your phone at your Instagram account, pull up your insights. And if anyone's not sure how to do that, let me know. Wade, you will not be able to see it on your personal account. It's only on a business account that you can see insights.
Okay, thank you.
Rebecca. Adrian has a question in the chat box.
Okay. Do you have any ideas for great content? Okay, so Adrian's question is, do you have any ideas for great content? Would it be bad to speak on Instagram stories and show your face? I feel as if people are always looking at Instagram stories and want to know the account personally. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, perfect. Yes, let's cover that next. It's on my list. Those are very good points. So I'll just hit insights real quick, because I think, now that I think about it, most of you don't actually have a business Instagram account, right? I don't know that anyone is managing one on here. All right, so under my insights, and this is, I'll look at the fuel ministry one first now, because my audiences are different. This will give you an example. My audience for fuel ministry, keep in mind that's dirt bikes and quads. The biggest range is 18 to 44. So it's about even from 18 to 44-year-olds. And it's mainly males looking at the Instagram. So when I'm posting, when I'm putting content on there, I always have to keep in mind that I'm catering to the 18 to 44-year-olds, and they're males. My audience on Facebook is actually different for fuel ministry. It's more women on there. It's the moms who are on Facebook looking at things. So you got to keep that in mind that you may have more than one audience on different platforms. So as far as locations for Fuel Ministry, it's Indianapolis, Louisville, Morgantown, Crawfordsville, Bloomington. So it's very spread out because it's more of a Midwest region nonprofit. On our Varney, when I pull that one up, that one is %45 of my followers are from Georgetown, where I live. I have to keep that in mind that Georgetown is my target. And my age range, most of the people looking at my Instagram are 35 to 44. So they're in my age group. So it's probably friends. And 80% of mine's female. So when I'm creating content, I need to keep in mind that my target is females between the ages of 35 to 44 in Georgetown. So that insights is very important to look at, and it has pretty charts and graphs and things like that for you to look at. So after you've built your Instagram business page and you've posted some things, then start looking at that so that you can kind of build up your follower base. Adrianne's question was some ideas for great content. And she asked if it's good to show your face on there. I get more when I post things on any of my client pages or on my business page, people look at it more when it's personal. They look at it more when it's a video. So short clips are always great. Sharon brought up a great point. We're not always comfortable in front of the camera. So make someone else do it? No. It's harder to do that, to do the selfie thing. Out of our group, I would say Adrian's probably most comfortable with that than any of us, because we didn't grow up doing selfies. That's a new thing, and I've learned though with selfies, you got to aim high, aim down. Okay. It gets rid of that double chin and everything. So, they know that we're learning that. We're trying to adapt to the selfie world. So yes, definitely make it personal. I have had to do that with our Varney marketing and photography, trying to take personal pictures, selfies and things like that. I don't do it very often, but I try to make myself do it occasionally, because those are the Facebook posts that are the most popular. It's the Instagram posts that are the most popular. So yes, you do have to get out of your comfort and do those selfies, do videos. Videos are big. Instagram stories and Facebook stories are the newest thing. I do recommend doing the Instagram stories. And is everyone familiar with what that is? No, I got it. Okay. It's just a short clip. It can be a picture, it can be a video. And it's basically kind of like your highlight of the day. So Wade could do an Instagram story from his event. So on April 14th, when he's doing his event, he can scan all of the career fair attendees. Sorry.
Okay.
Went blind, and scan that crowd and show that as your Instagram story.
That's a really good idea. I'm going to do that.
That would probably be a good day to, if you don't have time to get your Instagram started before then, that might be kind of the, the way to kind of build your following is kind of start from that day and, kind of after that, just kind of do highlights from the different businesses and things.
I will do that.
They say to, you got to create content. And that was one of Adrian's questions, like what to do. I met with a nonprofit, the diabetes group, and we were talking about that, like, what can you post? And like, they were talking about some health tips and kind of coming up with a schedule so that you kind of expect it. I'm going to use ST Boutique as an example. I don't watch the Facebook lives, but I'm pretty sure they're on Thursday nights, like at 9 p.m. because she has kind of built that as her thing. Like people expect a Facebook Live on Thursdays at 9 p.m. So with Adrian's Boutique, you want to kind of create that, that buzz. You want to kind of stick to a schedule and post at a certain time every week so that people kind of expect to know when you're going to go Facebook Live and things like that. So I would use Instagram in the same way you would use the Facebook. Just use it with consistency and content. You'll see a lot of realtors, they use this or that. They'll post pictures of a kitchen remodel and they'll be like, do you like this or do you like that? And that's, trying to get get people involved. And it's a simple, thing. I can see where Adrian could do a this or that with clothing for the boutique. So you definitely want to use things like Canva. Lisa's a big Canva person. Oh, Andrea. Yes, creating some things using Canva. Canva is a great app, or you can use it on your computer to create graphics. PicMonkey, PIC Monkey is another one. I tend to use that one. There's plenty of free apps on your phone that you can create a graphic. Utilize that. Do not post a Google picture on Instagram. Do not go to Google, pull up a picture and throw it on Instagram. That's like a big no-no. You want to use your own images. And like I said before, throw your logo on it so that if people do use it, your logo's on it. So if Adrian does a this or that on with two outfits, if she has her logo on it, then if someone does share that on Facebook or shares that to their Instagram story or whatever, then her logo's on it. Next questions like length of videos and Instagram stories. You don't want to lose them, so you do want to keep it short. With Instagram, they say to keep it under 1 minute. They do have a thing called IGTV, Instagram TV, and that is a place where you can put longer videos. So I think you can do up to 15 minutes if you upload it from your phone. You can do up to 60 minutes if you're doing it on your desktop. So if there's some, I guess there's some people getting famous by posting videos on Instagram. It's kind of like your YouTubers. There's people doing the same thing on Instagram, if you wanted to go that route. But you just got to remember people's attention span are short. Keeping it under 60 seconds on Instagram. Actually, I don't think you have a choice. I think you have it can't be any longer than a minute on Instagram. They cut you off. So throw short videos. Your phone can create a boomerang. Boomerang is a short video. If you've never done it, look it up. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do it today on here. We've talked about it in the past with Facebook workshop, but a boomerang is a great way to do a video without, it's literally like 3 seconds. So you'll see where I'll use boomerang sometimes, because it does get noticed on Instagram and Facebook more than just a regular picture. So do take advantage of slow-mo, fast forwarding, all those different video techniques that are available. You know, boutiques are so easy to use. So we'll use that again. If I've got, you know, 50 outfits sitting there, instead of showing each one very slowly, I mean, you could do a boomerang with that. You can do one of those fast forward videos where you show 50 outfits in, you know, 10 seconds or whatever, because it does catch people's attention, and then you direct them to your website so that they can do shopping. So if you try to, you know, hold up on a hanger 50 different outfits, you're going to lose people. They're not going to sit there and watch that video while you sit there and keep pulling up outfits. Lisa has a nail business on the side. If you sit there and hold up all these Color Street nail samples, they're gonna keep on going. But if you do like a fast forward video showing 50 different styles of nails, they're going, if they see one that just went by really quickly, they'll go to your page to look at it and get more detail. So use videos as a way to direct them to a website. On Instagram, you do not want to post a bunch of pictures over and over and over again. You don't want to load up the Instagram. They say it's better to just post like an hour in between. So if I am featuring a house that I photographed on Instagram, you're supposed to post one, an hour later post another one, an hour later post another one. Now, I'll admit, I am guilty. If I have time to sit down and post stuff on Instagram, I load it up. I'll admit, I am guilty of that. It's going to be raining today. You're going to see where I post a bunch of stuff on Instagram because I haven't had time for the last 2 weeks to do it because the weather's been nice. So, you know, I am guilty of that, but don't do what I do. You're supposed to spread those out, and people will see your Instagram posts more if you do it that way. Instagram stories, before I forget, those stay on there for 24 hours. So if you do post an Instagram story, it's there for 24 hours for people to see it. So, and then it's gone. If you are not sure, and again, we're very limited on time with an hour. If you're not sure what a story is on Facebook or Instagram, you definitely want to look that up, and you definitely want to consider doing it. Especially, you know, like I could totally see Wade, you know, as people are getting set up, you know, scanning them getting set up, and putting a shout out, hey, so-and-so's here, hey, so-and-so's here, come by in 2 hours, we're setting up, we're going to be ready for you. And then, you know, just doing several videos that he can throw as posts, Instagram posts, and as Instagram story and things like that. So, all right, I want to give you a helpful advice on how to get more people to your page. So fuel ministry, I'll use that as my example, dirt bikes, quads. So if I go over to like GNCC or Yamaha or Honda, if I go over to their Instagram, their followers are what? Dirt bike and quad people, right? If I start following a bunch of quad and dirt bike riders, they're going to follow me back. As soon as they see that I'm a quad dirt bike person, business, they're going to follow me back. So I'm going to go to race series and to like the stores, follow their people, and then their people are going to follow me. That's how I got our Fuel Ministry Instagram up and running, was doing that. I definitely would consider going to your competitor, and I hate saying this kind of stuff on a recording like this when I know it's recorded, but go to your competitor's page and follow their people, and then they'll in turn see, oh, that's a boutique. They're not going to know how you started following them, but you know, the goal is for them to follow you back. You only want to do this with people who are following like a certain hashtag. So if, you know, you'll get unfollowed if the content is not related to something that they want to see, right? I mean, you definitely want to pick followers. Adrian said that's how they got 500 followers. Yes, it has to be people that would be interested in your product. So you definitely got to think about that. Real estate photography, who do you think I target? Realtors. So if I follow hashtag Cincy Realtors and go and follow those real estate agents, then I just created, they follow me back. So that's how I'm building that up, my R. Varney photo business page with realtors. So you just got to think of what hashtags your possible followers could be following. Does that make sense? You know, Sharon, in her case, you know, she would go to Brown County Wellness Foundation, if they had one, and follow those people, and then in turn they would follow her, and then she would have them for her Adams County thing or whatever. Any questions? Because I've thrown a lot of information and we only have about 15 minutes left. Okay.
This is Sharon.
Another helpful.
This is Sharon. Rebecca?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, it's a silly thing. I've never used Instagram, but I think I want to teach myself at some point. However, for business, you know, that's something we'll be exploring later with some of our coalitions, based on who we think will follow, etc. But like my brother does Instagrams all the time, and like you say, those stories, those short little stories of the day, like something that happened at work, but they do all kinds of weird, funny faces and expressions.
Yes.
I mean, are those things that are just easy to do? Because it's so cute and funny. I love it.
I guess it depends on your personality. Like, I dread it. I've got a smile on my face, but the whole time I'm thinking, I hate this. I know, like, it comes natural for some people to be able to, you know, stick that camera up, and, you know, I'm not that kind of person, but I know that I have to do it, you know? So yeah, I do recommend it. Like, you know, if on your coalition pages, you've got to show the people behind the coalition. I think I shared that with the diabetes group in class last week or 2 weeks ago. Like, people want to see who's behind the page. So you've got to get behind, you know, you got to step out and you got to do it. You got to show them who, you know, they want to see the real people. Fuel ministry, I don't have many pictures of me on there. And I'm always preaching to all of our volunteers and stuff, like, I need pictures of you. And then it's like, there aren't any of me, you know, like it's so hard. But yeah, you just have to do it. Now, earlier I shared that like Fuel Ministry followers on Facebook are different than Instagram. So don't necessarily post the same thing on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. There are programs that will post to both. You can actually post. You can go on Facebook and say, put this on Instagram too. Instagram, put it on Facebook. You know, I don't recommend that because it doesn't always need to be shared on both. You got to remember who your target market is. And if someone's scrolling, you know, you gotta change it up, like not at the same time. An hour in between, you know, something like it, and it shouldn't be automated. Like, I think you should personally go in there and push it out. There are some research that says that if Facebook realizes that you're using like Hootsuite or another platform to push things over to their page, they'll block it. And I've read where it says, don't do that. Don't feed it from don't tell Facebook to share it on Instagram also, or vice versa, that you should personally put it on there to help the visibility of it. Now, I'm hoping that that's old news and that, you know, everyone's playing nicely now, but I wouldn't take that chance. You want to make sure it's on there. You can organically grow your Instagram. Don't buy followers. There's plenty of ways you can buy Facebook followers and Instagram followers. Don't do it. There are ways to do it organically. There's better ways to spend your marketing dollars. Those are really the biggest things that I wanted to hit. We have 10 minutes left, so we do have time for questions. You do have to have a personal Instagram in order to create a business Instagram page. So it is tied to a personal. Unless they've changed that in the last year or so, but.
Thanks for telling me that. I did not know that.
Yeah, you do. Unless they've just changed it, you do have to have a personal. It's kind of like you got to do the same thing on Facebook. In order to create a business page on Facebook, you have to have a personal Facebook.
Yes. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Well, I do have to go ahead and hop off here. I wanted to thank you. I want to thank Lisa as well. I really appreciated it. And the next time you do it, I'm going to do it again so I get double knowledge of it.
Good, because I'll never say the same thing twice, so you'll get.
No, I did get it. You have a good day.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Wade.
Wade.
Thank you.
And
Oh, you're welcome.
we've got a question in the chat box, Rebecca.
Okay. Instagram is free. Instagram is a free app that you put on your phone. The only time they charge you is if you try to, like if you do the Instagram store. Like there is some free, like there is a free version of the Instagram store, but I think you got to pay money to like really, if you really wanted to sell something on Instagram, I think you would have to pay for the one of the versions. But Adrian, I mean, there are definitely ways around that. I mean, you've got beautiful models that can put an outfit on, and then you just direct them to your website. So I wouldn't stress too much about that. I would, like I said before, I would definitely spend the money on like Shopify before I invested in that. And you guys could do Shopify. You guys could figure it out. If not, we can help you with it. But I think Shopify would be the type of website that you would want to build. That's what all your boutiques around here have.
And Sharon asked, how do you set up a personal Instagram? Just a simple explanation.
Okay. You would go to the Play Store and type in Instagram, download that to your phone, and then go and create an account. And it's going to ask you for like your email address. I think it asked for your phone number. It's going to ask you to create a username. It's, like you do want it to be common enough that people recognize you. So like I'm trying to think. Like most people use their name or an abbreviated name. I think mine's under R. Varney Photo, because I wanted that, the word photo in there. But I'm trying to think of, I think most people have some abbreviated version of their name on there. It's and then you just post pictures. Always put captions with your pictures. So if you have a beautiful sunset that you're posting, put on there, gorgeous day in Russellville. Look at the sunset here in Ripley, whatever it is. But always caption them. People, it's kind of like telling a story. Instagram it's basically a visual story is what it is. Any tips on how to make your Instagram feed look cohesive? How do I set the part? Okay. I think the best thing is to just keep things consistent. I'm trying to think of your guys' stuff. I think like using the same background when you're posting an outfit is always good. I think you guys have usually done your Facebook Lives with the same background, I believe, right? When you guys have
we have.
Okay.
I know some people use different like presets when they edit though to like, and I don't know if you like have any advice as far as like making, I don't know if finding those presets, or I think I really like the idea of like keeping the same background, although the others are moving. So we are going to have to find a new backdrop, which is fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going for that consistent look. So, yeah, that is true. I know I was sitting there. I wasn't sure whether to say where I knew where you guys usually shot those or not, but yeah,
You're
I mean,
fine.
That was a nice white background. And so it made the color pop on the outfits. You'll notice that a lot of boutiques do use a lighter color as their backdrop. Some of them, with the country look, they'll use like hardwood, lay outfits down on the floor, shoot from up to down and get, a hardwood look. Whitewashed wood look, people do that with flooring, but I would just keep it consistent with a light background, but again, I think throwing a logo on there and keeping it consistent is what's gonna make your guys's Instagram stand out. And make sure you guys are in it. Like, I honestly think you're going to get more exposure if they see who is behind the boutique. There's a lot of people like, you know, they don't realize I'm trying to be better about that because they didn't realize, they just always thought R. Varney marketing photography was just me. And I've been trying to post more about the different people, but my 12 people are, you know, they're the same way I am. Like, I am behind the camera. Like, I don't want to be in front of the camera. So it is, you know, it's trying to put pictures of all of us on there so that people recognize us as a company. All right. We are about there on time. Lisa, do you have any closing remarks and any classes coming up?
Yeah, next Tuesday from 12 to 1, we have our Google My Business training. I'm sorry, got a sore throat. I can't hardly talk this morning. And then that's the last one for March. And I'll be sending out information for the upcoming April trainings. So next Tuesday, 12, if anybody's interested in Google My Business. And thank you for attending today. That was a great training. I took a lot of notes. I learned a lot from that, Rebecca. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, so normally our classes are a little bit longer. They're in person. We have found it's a lot easier to do these in person, but
Yes.
you know, we've had such a long break that we had to like jump back in. So, you know, we're trying to hit some of the topics that we can hit via Zoom. So Google My Business is a good one. If you want people to be able to find you when they do a Google search and find your location and directions to your businesses, another great way to show photos. So I definitely recommend that for small businesses. But yeah, I mean, we're just trying to, you know, that April schedule probably, it'll have some more, and we're just trying to slowly add back on there and get things up and going until we can get back to in person.
Yes, I'm ready to do in person. I missed that.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully May we'll be able to start back. That's the plan, if everything works out.
Oh, good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you
All right. Well,
everyone for
thank you.
attending.
And my contact information is on the other screen. If you need a phone number, you can call with any questions.
Yeah, and I put my contact information in the chat box.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thanks, Sharon.